In the dead of night, an ominous event shrouds the nearby village in fear. An unspeakable horror unfolds as two men are found brutally slain, their bodies bearing the gruesome mark of a wild beast of supreme power. The savage attack, so petrifying in its intensity, leaves the villagers in shock and terror. The crime scene is a chilling tableau of blood and gore. Limbs are torn apart, skulls are crushed like fragile shells, and entrails lie strewn across the ground. The hearts of the victims, eerily, are nowhere to be found. The scene is so horrific, so raw and visceral that even the adults recoil in fear, shielding the eyes of the young ones from the ghastly spectacle. The air is thick with dread and the stench of death. The villagers, once lively and full of spirit, stand as if turned to stone. Their faces, ashen and lined with fear, mirror the horror of the scene before them. The silence is deafening, the only sound the rustle of leaves underfoot as they shuffle, frozen in place, unable to tear their eyes away from the macabre sight. The once peaceful village, nestled in the embrace of the forest, now stands a grim testament to the terror that came in the night. The forest, too, is eerily quiet. The usual symphony of nature's sounds replaced by an oppressive silence. The birds circle in the sky, their frantic cries adding to the sense of unease that hangs over the village like a pall. As the initial shock gives way to a creeping fear, questions bubble to the surface. Who could have done this? What beast could be capable of such savagery? The villagers know not where to look for answers. The crime scene offers no clues, the attackers' tracks as elusive as the morning mist. The villagers are left grappling with their fear and the haunting image of the gruesome scene. As the villagers stand frozen in terror, questions hang heavy in the air, unanswered and echoing in the eerie silence. Unaware of the gruesome incident, the witch's day takes a sinister turn. As the sun blazes overhead, a bird, its feathers ruffled and eyes wide with terror, swoops down to deliver the horrifying news. Her heart pounds in her chest as the bird chatters away, every word a cold stab of dread. The witch's eyes widen in disbelief and fear, her mind struggling to comprehend the monstrous reality. Two men, torn apart, hearts missing, an act of brutal savagery that chills her to the bone. In a state of shock, she stumbles into the darkened forest, her heart heavy with the weight of the tragic news. The forest, once a sanctuary of peace and prosperity, now seems to harbor an ominous presence. She seeks answers, her voice trembling as she chants ancient spells, beseeching the spirits for guidance. The silence is deafening, the spirits mute, as if held captive by an invisible force. Her pleas echo through the trees, unanswered, increasing her sense of foreboding. After what feels like an eternity of silence, a spirit finally responds. Its voice, a mournful wail, breaks the silence, confessing its pain. As it accuses the witch of being responsible, her blood turns to ice. The spirit's words, accusing and full of pain, pierce the witch's heart like a dagger, leaving her reeling. Then, a revelation. The wolf. The spirit's words hang in the air, a chilling reminder of the companion that she had welcomed into her home. The wolf, her companion, a possible monster, the thought is too horrific to comprehend, yet the spirit's words echo in her mind, a haunting refrain that refuses to be silenced. As the spirit's haunting words echo in her mind, the witch is left in a state of confusion and dread. Her mind is a whirlwind of questions, doubts, and fears. As she trudges back home, the sun slowly sinking behind the hills, she cannot help but look over her shoulder, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and uncertainty. Returning home, the witch finds the wolf oblivious and content. Weariness from the day's revelations weighs heavily on the witch, yet she musters up the strength to keep her countenance unchanged. A facade of normality veils her dread, her heart pounding like a drum beneath her chest. The wolf, blissfully unaware, greets her with affectionate eyes and a wagging tail, its innocence a stark contrast to the monstrous image painted by the spirit's confession. Their usual dinner routine begins, the clatter of plates and the aroma of deer leftovers permeating the air. The witch looks at the wolf, attempting to decipher any traces of guilt or deceit in its eyes. The wolf, however, simply savors its meal, oblivious to the storm brewing within the witch. As the witch picks at her food, her mind is a whirlwind of unanswered questions. How could her loyal companion, the creature she had nurtured and loved, commit such horrifying acts? Was this the same wolf that had spent countless nights by her side, or was it a beast wearing the mask of the familiar? The questions gnaw at her mind, each one more haunting than the last. The night falls and the usual tranquility of their home is tainted with a palpable tension. The witch lays in bed, her gaze fixed on the ceiling, the silence of the night punctuated only by the rhythmic breathing of the wolf. Her mind races, her heart aches, but she must remain silent for now. As the clock strikes midnight, a growl echoes through the stillness. The witch's heart skips a beat. The sound is louder, more menacing than the usual noises the wolf makes in its sleep. The growls intensify, each one sending a shiver down the witch's spine. Then, just as abruptly as they started, the growls cease. A chilling silence follows, leaving the witch in a state of trepidation. The air is thick with unsaid words and unasked questions. The night, once her sanctuary, has become a battlefield of fear and uncertainty. As the wolf's growls fill the night, a chilling silence follows, leaving the witch in a state of trepidation. As night deepens, the wolf is nowhere to be found. The silence of the forest echoes with the chilling absence of our lupine friend. The witch's heart pounds in her chest, each thump a stark reminder of the dread settling in. Her mind is a whirlwind of thoughts, each more terrifying than the last. Could the wolf, her companion, be the monstrous beast responsible for the gruesome incident in the village? Or is there another, darker force at play here? As she stands alone under the moonlit sky, the questions multiply, their answers as elusive as the vanished wolf. The forest, once a sanctuary, now feels like a labyrinth of fear and uncertainty. The witch knows she must uncover the truth, but the path before her is shrouded in shadows. Stay tuned for the next part of this thrilling tale. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you won't miss what's coming next.